The last couple of days, we had heard that Tyler had his head shoved into a wall locker. They said he was a geek.
My concern is that you were making someone feel so uncomfortable that they didn't want to be in school.
I feel kind of nervous going to school because I like learning, but I have trouble with making friends.
Hello, welcome to What the Flick. I am Christy, this is Alonzo, this is Matt. We're talking about the much talked about documentary Bully. It's been in the news because of the ratings fight. It was given an R, the Weinsteins wanted PG-13. It's now out unrated entirely because of 6 words. It's really stupid. Actually, it's the same word 6 times, and the word is fuck. We can say it here.
Fuck.
We have no ratings. Fuck, motherfucker. Fuck. All right. And
Fuck this shit.
So, but this documentary is out. Alonzo and I have seen it. Matt,
I don't see movies that are unrated.
You didn't have a permission slip.
Right,
for
makes it
AMC
really hard to
theaters.
watch porn at
But
home.
please describe it.
So basically it's a documentary about the phenomenon of bullying, how it is running rampant in our schools, that faculty and police aren't doing enough about it. It is leading to the premature deaths of many of our adolescents, and a lot of parents and former bullying victims are banding together to try and make a difference.
Punch me, strangle me, take things from me, sit on me.
Give it to him hard!
He's not safe on that bus.
I've been on that bus. They are just as good as gold.
My voice is not going to fall silent.
We reached out to parents that have lost kids, parents of kids that are being bullied all over the world, and it took off like wildfire.
All it takes is for one person to stand up.
Be the difference. Go out and find that one child, that new kid standing over there by himself. Be willing to stand up for him.
Everything starts with one and builds up. Eventually, we have an army.
If we all do it together, we will change the world.
As a mother, I'm really glad that Bully exists to get people talking. As a film critic, I wish it were more accomplished.
Exactly. Like I fully endorse what this movie is advocating and what it has to say, and I'm glad that it's out there and that it's part of the national discussion that's been going on lately about bullying. I just wish Bully were a better movie because it's not as effective as it could be either on an emotional level or on an intellectual level. Like it doesn't give you enough heart or head. You know, like there's not a single statistic in this movie about bullying. There's not a single interview with a bully in this movie, and that would be fine if the other stuff where they're talking to the parents of the dead kids or the kids who are being picked on had more emotional weight and were more powerful, but they're not.
There's a couple of scenes with the one couple in Oklahoma, and the father says, "We're simple people," and he learns how to use the internet to rally other people because his 11-year-old son committed suicide. I mean, they got to me. The purity of emotion with them got to me, but that was kind of a rare moment.
Yeah, there are scenes that stand out, like the hidden camera on the bus where you see the kid getting knocked around, and they finally go show the footage to the principal, and the principal just does nothing.
Yeah, the principal's an idiot.
There are some moments that do connect, and they kind of but you notice them, and you think, God, why isn't the rest of this movie delivering on this level?
Right. Also, what's so distracting about it is the way it's shot. I'm not sure whether this is an intentional aesthetic choice or it's just a mess, but it keeps going in and out of focus. It's a lot of messy, shaky cam, and I'm like, is this something that you are choosing to do to add tension, drama? I don't know. I just got the sense that it was sloppy.
Yeah.
It was just sloppy.
And there's a lot of jumping around between the several threads of this film.
With no rhyme or reason at all.
No, none. And they don't. You keep thinking it's going to build a thing and then take you somewhere else, but no, it just seems to randomly hopscotch around.
Yeah.
So I'm glad this movie exists, and I hope that it makes a difference in the world. But to be frank, it is not a very good movie.
Yeah, I went home and talked to my husband afterward. Our son's only 2.5, but I figure at some point, he will be involved with something, whether he is the instigator or he's on the receiving end of it. And so what do you tell kids? I don't know. It's different from when we were in high school. Mean texting didn't exist. Mean Facebook posts didn't exist. You have an 8-year-old son.
There are a lot more channels to be abused.
Yeah.
Right? It's interesting. There's a kid at my stepson's school who, at least last year, was getting the reputation for being a bully. And in a weird way, the school didn't want to acknowledge it. Like they didn't want to use the word bully. Like they didn't want to label this kid that way. You know, and you start to wonder, I mean, this is, you know, me going off on a tangent having not seen the movie, but you start to wonder, like, is there an issue with not getting any actual bullies on the film? Like, no one wants to consider themselves that. You know, you hear a lot of like blaming the victim in some cases. Like, well, this girl was a bitch, and we talked shit about her because we had to. You know, there's obviously a larger problem than just kids acting out at each other, right? There's some, you know, I think if we step back, there's a bigger issue as to, you know, who's parenting their children and teaching their children what's the correct way to act. Because I think in the case of the problem kid, you know, at the school that I'm talking about, you can kind of look at this kid's home life and say, oh, okay, well, it kind of starts there.
But bully barely asks these questions.
Yeah.
And
well,
so
then fuck these fuckers.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
So, you know, points for good intentions, bully, but yeah.
Okay, so what would you give it?
I'm going to say a 5.5 just on a purely as a movie, you know, not for as a social phenomenon, but as a movie, 5.5.
I'm going to say 6. I'm real close. We're at 5.8. It is way higher than that
96.
in the tomato world. Nobody wants to come out and say this movie is not very good.
Yeah.
They'll get bullied.
It's true. By film critics. We're so mean. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.